The meeting is being live streamed. Welcome.
Welcome everyone to this live with me. My name is Kalina Petkova, and this is my beautiful friend and certified facilitator and so many other
Meeting is
things.
being live streamed.
Name is Kalina Petkova.
We just had the other tab open. Okay, I've closed it now.
Beautiful.
I was like, it literally, we're coming from everywhere. Hi.
So thank you so much for joining me here. We just wanted to chat a little bit about entities. You are a certified facilitator and talk to the entities facilitator, and also relationship done different facilitator, right voice for you facilitator. So a lot of stuff, which is amazing. And I've been very lucky to know you for already 2 years and work with you. And I've been part of a lot of the classes that you've been doing. And we were just chatting the other day about entities, and you are having a class coming to Canada soon. So we just wanted to chat about different stories. So let's start with, what are entities?
That's a very good question. So it's really interesting because these tools of talk to the entities, like I've labeled this live like entities to fear or not to fear. And I think so many of us like separate from the spirit world, and in order to protect ourselves, like based upon fear, like we're told that they're the dark arts or something to fear or something that can harm us and hurt us. And I mean, I believe that as well until I actually come across the tools to talk to the entities and actually realize that there is something so different and possible available. And there's so much of us that we cut ourselves off from when we take that point of view and when we believe that they're only out to get us. So it's interesting because like an entity is an energy that's defined. So we're not just talking about ghosts when we talk about entities. Like our business is an entity, our bank account's an entity, our body's an entity, our relationships are literally entities that are constantly communicating with us about what they desire, what they require, what they need. So really an entity is just an energy that's defined, that if we take this point of view that there's something to fear, we're kind of cutting ourselves off from like this a whole bunch of like magical beings, not only magical spirits, but actually like our business that actually desires to contribute to us.
Yeah, I love that. Before 3 years ago, I was saying that earlier, that I would have never thought that I'm going to be talking about entities. And all of a sudden it's like, wow, I was stuck in a lot of fear myself. I had bought the point of view that if I follow my awareness, I will have to, I'm going to be a medium. This is my life path, whatever. So there is no other way. And like, if I talk to ghosts, then this is the only thing. You can't really be tapping into other like beings and so on. So I was like, no, I'm going to be weird. People will think I'm crazy. People will leave me. There were so many points of views that I was stuck in. And I chose to take one intro class, and I had a friend while running bars that like she contributed to me. She was asking me questions and realized all the craziness. And then after the intro class, which is just a couple of hours of a class, and you don't get a manual with it, but you kind of dip your toes in, ask some questions, and it's just, wow, there is something different. And then I made the choice of taking a Talk to the Entities beginning class. And so, can you tell us a little bit about the beginning class and the classes from your perspective?
Well, I guess like the first thing that's required is for like with these classes is like to invite people to kind of get out of the fear, because that's really what's actually sticking us from having so many different beings, including beings in bodies and out of bodies, actually like contribute to and nurture us. So really, I kind of see these Talk to the Entities classes, and I see the spirit world as this invitation to more of yourself. And for me, these classes have gifted me like not only more of me, but it's allowed me to like start listening to the whispers, and it's allowed me to trust me and know what I know. And it's entities that actually has also invited me to learn how to receive. and learn how to receive contribution as well from people in bodies. So it kind of never shows up the way you think it's going to, but there's this kind of magical world that really, when you actually start including it, like opens up this entire new space for you. Because if you were willing to know what you know when it comes to the spirit world, like you would have to step into trusting you entirely. You would have to be willing to actually have your awareness, because when you start kind of tapping into and working with the unseen world, the, mainly unacknowledged world of, the spirit arts, you have to truly know what you know, because no one's kind of like, if you don't see them, like, and no one's kind of confirming it, it's really this beautiful adventure into trusting what you know. So the classes, there's all different topics in the class. You learn how to get out of fear and into potency, and you learn about all different kinds of entities and how to work with them, how to clear them, how to communicate, how to receive from them, and how to cooperate with them. But I think kind of that's the bit that's like not so relevant. I think what's like relevant for me for these classes is like all the things you gain access to, which most people don't expect to gain access to. And I know for me, like people ask me like, but how do you travel the world with your business? And how have you created a business with so much ease? And basically, what's your secret? Like, it doesn't seem like you have to do much. And I'm like, because I'm constantly listening to where my business wants to go, what desires to be created. And so that, like, I learned that through these Talk to the Entity classes.
I love that. And I've seen it develop throughout the years, which is like beautiful. And I've been lucky to be able to attend some of your Talk to the Entities classes while they were like still online during the COVID time. And it's been such a gift. And like, I remember one of the times you were having a Talk to the Entities and Money class that was just a shorter one. And after that class, a couple of days after, like my family contributed to me for a down payment for a house, like in addition. And I was like, wow, okay, I had asked for a contribution and that showed up. How does it get any better? And there is a couple of things. People are thinking that you just need to see them, that you need to have already a gift in order to choose to explore this topic. Can you talk a little bit about that?
That's totally wrong. I didn't see them. I didn't hear them. I didn't believe I had a capacity with them. But if you're here, like if you're listening to this live, you're aware. And there's one tool in Access Consciousness called Who Does This Belong To? And if you've taken a bars class, which I assume a lot of people have if they're kind of here in this group, in the bars class, it says like 99% of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, like do not belong to you. And it's interesting because most people go to, oh, well, if they don't belong to me, they belong to someone else. Like it must be like a friend that I'm hanging out with or a family member, and they don't actually begin to recognize that 99% of the stuff that's not yours could also belong to the spirit world. There could be a bunch of entities, like disembodied entities hanging around you that are lost, that are disenfranchised, that don't realize they don't have a body, that want to get your attention because they just want to communicate with their loved ones. Like the sadness could not only be someone in a body, it could be someone without a body. So it kind of opens up this whole new world where you go, wow, like you cannot cut off your awareness to the spirit world without a cost. And that cost is the loss of yourself. That cost is the loss of so much peace and so much space, basically. So really this thing about like you can't cut off your awareness without a cost, that cost for most people is either physical or psychological when it comes to the spirit world. And physical could be, unexplained allergies, unexplained skin conditions, weird flu-like symptoms all the time, like sore eyes, chronic. So for me, it was sore eyes, it was chronic fatigue, and psychological anxiety, depression, which I had, which was my awareness of the spirit world, and I didn't realize, psychosis, schizophrenia, borderline personality disorder, mood swings can also be entities, particularly in children, like it kind of shows up very regularly. So this is the thing, it's like, that's the cost. But without us actually really even acknowledging that the spirit world exists or that we can be aware of it, we go to, oh, well, there must be something wrong with my body. And we kind of go down this path of like trying to fix our body rather than go, body, like, what are you actually aware of? Like, what are you actually like, what are you trying to tell me? And I think it's a real shame when people don't actually include the spirit world, because so much of what could be going on with your body is actually just your awareness of entities.
Yes, and I can definitely say that for me as well. I don't see them. I just perceive shifts in energies and things like that. And I was stuck, as I said, in a lot of the fear. And then after that, with the tools, now I am aware. I've had recent, not so recent, in Germany experience. I went into a bar with a friend, and all of a sudden, I was like perfectly fine, and I started still falling asleep.
Mm.
Like, wow, okay, what is this? I was totally fine a minute ago. What is this? And then in my head it was just like entities. Okay, I have the tools, I cleared, the energy shifted, a fog lifted, and I was telling my friend, like, do you notice how much brighter it become just all of a sudden? She's like, yeah. And that is that the tools of talk to the entities are so pragmatic and are at our fingertips, which has been like such a gift.
Yeah.
So
And I mean,
yeah.
I've got so many stories. I mean, entities have like gifted me so much money. Like just that, like when you start to engage with the spirit world, because you're now no longer cutting yourself off from a massive part of yourself, because also like we're a being, we're an infinite being. We've just chosen to take a body this lifetime. So we're also a spirit or an entity. It's just we've chosen a body. And when we choose to leave our body, whenever that may be, we are one of them too. Like there is no separation between us. So it takes a whole lot of energy to actually cut yourself off from a massive part of yourself. So when you begin to actually acknowledge like what you're aware of, and no longer have those walls and barriers up to some part of yourself, basically, then you access a whole lot of receiving. And just through that, just through your willingness to engage with the spirit world, even just acknowledge them, even if it's, instead of thinking you're going crazy, instead of going, did I just see something or did I just hear something, which we've all had plenty of those moments, you just went, hi guys, what's up? Even that, they're so grateful for that it starts to invite more money in your life, because they gift you money because they're grateful. So I've had even recently, like the Australian government send me 2 letters with money they're gifting me, like tax refund was one of them. One of them was Centrelink I paid as a student from 10 years ago. They're giving me like a refund on that. Like this, like with no explanation. It's just, there's a refund coming into your account. And also the hospital I used to work at 4 years ago before I quit to kind of go on this journey of becoming a facilitator, sent me a letter the other day saying, we were underpaying you, like you will be receiving a refund. And I'm like, this was all in the space of a few weeks. And I'm like, okay. And I knew, I was like, wow, thanks guys. And this is how really like this kind of like magic can begin to actually show up in your life, where it doesn't have to be hard work. Like you don't have to do this on your own. I think so often we think even having a business or asking for more money, it's like, well, we have to do that. Like that's our job to generate more, without going, wait a second, who wants to play with me in this? Who wants to contribute to like this ask of mine? So for me, beginning to include the spirit world, one, you get richer figuratively and literally. But 2, like I lost 20 kilos just through really beginning to actually know what I know with spirits, because before I realized I was aware of the spirit world, I had such bad anxiety that I was like trying to cope with my awareness and just like eating a lot. And when I moved away from Melbourne City to the Sunshine Coast in Australia, and I there was a lot more space, there's a lot less entities there, all of a sudden I just started losing weight without having to do a thing. And again, it's like, how easy do we go to, we're putting on weight, okay, it might be because I'm stressed, or maybe there's something wrong with my body that I have to check out now and I have to go to the doctors, without going, it could just actually be entity awareness. Like, would you allow it to be that easy?
Yeah. Wonderful. So can you tell us a little bit? I know you have classes around the world. Can you tell us a little bit where you are and where you're going to be?
Yes. So that's a good question. My first class is in Torino, Italy, North Italy, June 16th to 18th. The intro night is on my birthday. And that's co-facilitated with my friend Bianca, who's an Italian facilitator, but that will be in English. We'll both be facilitating in English. And then a week after that, I'm going to London in, well, the United Kingdom, June 23rd to 25th. And then I'm going to Toronto, Canada for the first time ever. I've never been to Canada before. July 7th to 9th. So they are 2.5-day classes. They always start usually on a Friday evening, like with the introduction class for 2 hours. And then it continues for 2 full days, like on the Saturday and Sunday. And anyone can join any of the intro classes live or online around the world. And then the 2-day, well, the rest of the class has to be attended in person. So yeah, you're invited if this conversation kind of inspires you in any way, or you're just curious. I think it's the curiosity. I think most people that choose these classes, you just kind of know you have to be there. Like you're just kind of curious. And that was when I did my first one. I heard the title, Talk to the Entities, and I just knew I had to be there, which is weird because I'd never thought about entities before. I never wanted to communicate with them. Like I wasn't necessarily scared of them, but I was not interested in like, you know, talking to ghosts and being a psychic or a medium. Like I thought that that's, you know, what you had to be. Until I realized we all have a capacity with talking to entities, and we're all always kind of talking to them or communicating with them without recognizing. Because if you're listening to the whispers of anything, including animals, that's talking to entities. Like, and how much brighter and lighter and easier and more joyful could your life become if you started listening to the whispers of everything, basically. So, you know, we kind of, the classes like are about ghosts, quote unquote, but these tools open you up to the entire world, and to yourself, really. That's what I've gained from it.
Yes. So happy you're coming. Thank you for coming to this live with me. And for everyone who is interested, like you can choose, you will know. Follow your knowing. We'll be very happy to see you in any of those places. And if you come to Toronto, Canada, we'll be happy to see you, me there. Woohoo!
We'll pop the links below. Where, by the way, if anyone's, we've got no idea if anyone's listening to this. We're like live from Zoom. So if anyone has any questions, sorry, we ignored them if we have. But if you do have questions, still pop them in the comments of this live, and Colleen or I can answer it anyway if you want like more information, or you can reach out to any one of us if you want more information about the class. But the links have all the information about pricing and times and locations as well. So how does it get better? What else is actually possible and available for you if you begin to include the spirit world?
Wonder.
Bye everyone. Now
Bye.
figure out how to stop